My name is Carolyn Schaumburg, and I had a chance to sit down with Professor Cavalcante, a tenured professor in both the Women Gender Studies Department and the Media Studies Department, to talk about research for his book, Struggling for Ordinary, Media and Transgender Belonging in Everyday Life.
Struggling for Ordinary, Media and Transgender Belonging in Everyday Life. So it looks at the role that media and communications technologies play in the everyday lives of transgender people. What I did is I interviewed transgender folks from both the Midwest and then San Francisco about their lives, right? And about the importance and the role that media played in their understanding of self, their understanding of belonging, of community. And what you find is that media, as always, is a Faustian bargain, right? It gives and it takes away. How do folks negotiate, on the one hand, visibility when there's like none of it, particularly for trans folks growing up before the internet, and then when there is visibility and it, you know, represents you as a horrible person or somehow monstrous, right? How do you deal with that? And then what is the role of the internet in sort of ushering a new kind of visibility, a new kind of connectivity for trans folks?
How did you become personally invested into studying the audience reception model, especially with trans in mind?
This kind of research speaks to me because it's in line with my personality and with what I like to do. I also could never be an academic who like gets lost in an archive and does like that kind of historical research, because I'm a people person. I like getting out there. I like interviewing people. I like, you know, mixing things up. I like being out in the world. A lot of queer research tends to focus on the cities and on the coasts. But I was, you know, in a good position because I was doing my dissertation and my PhD at University of Michigan, so I was in the Midwest. So I was able to talk to a population of people that's often overlooked.
Something that caught my attention was how the boundaries of interviewing someone and getting close enough and getting their permission to interview them, but also at the same time studying them. Was that something you struggled with, or did you automatically have it in the bag because you're just that amazing? So
the interpersonal and sort of the emotional component of this research is complicated, and again, though, it's kind of like why I like doing it, because there's no reason for these people to be sharing their stories with me. They're giving me a gift by doing it, and they're sharing, you know, really intimate parts of their lives with me. As a human being with emotions, you naturally sort of generate some kind of connection with them and with their story. With one particular couple, I spent a lot of time with them, visiting their house. They invited me to their birthday parties. We went out for dinner. They would cook me dinners. And then all of a sudden they just stopped calling. This was a difficult situation because I was, at some point, I had sort of reached that line between researcher and friend. It is a totally weird situation too, because you don't really know them, but they're telling you these intimate stories of their lives, and then at the same time you're sort of engaging with them as people, right? Like, how can't you? But at the same time, like you said, you're like studying them. Professor
Cavalcante's experiences while conducting research is a prime example of how research into media and its importance in the transgender experience is extremely relevant today. Thank you to Professor Cavalcante for agreeing to be in this video. My name is Carolyn Schaumburg. Thank you for watching WUVA News.